interested in giving back to their community, and his belief, and I'm certainly he is right, that such a army of mentors and advisors could be raised here for startups in Saudi Arabia. He was followed by Dinah Adkins again, who talked about some studies she's done on behalf of CAXT and the different types of programming out there, including incubators, co-working spaces, seed accelerators, second stage accelerators, and the individual differences in how they can learn from each other. Followed by Aman Merchant, the CEO of the Hub. The Hub is a network of co-working-like spaces that are much more intensive, that helps to bring together a number of different people from across different sectors and talked about that very unique program that you see worldwide. Moved on to Seed Accelerators, which we brought in Thea Chase, who talked about some of her experience at the Slow Hot House in San Luis Obispo. And I thought she had an interesting thing to say about what the outcomes of those programs can do, some of the goals there, which is helping students think creatively, how to be an entrepreneur, and really helping students to become leaders, even if they don't become entrepreneurs. Followed closely by Adrian Joseph of InnovHub, and I thought his great quote was with entrepreneurs, because they're such dreamers sometimes, is to encourage the vision, but make sure you validate the data, and gave some pretty good case studies on how that was done. Khalid Suleimani, CEO of SIRP, gave a great presentation following that, talking about the knowledge gaps that many entrepreneurs have. I thought his focus on the knowledge gap relating to marketing was quite interesting, because I think it's very true, and it's very, very hard to do, and spoke of the lack of resources in Arabic and how that is expanding. Julian Webb of Creta Project followed him, went into a little bit deeper dive into mentoring, spoke about the keys, that mentoring, one of the big keys is it needs to be voluntary by both parties. The mentor needs to be a volunteer, and the mentee needs to have some degree of choice in the mentors and must accept the mentor before that'll be a viable and productive relationship. That it needs to be a goal-oriented relationship. It's a developmental relationship, but he pointed out that entrepreneurs learn best when they're taught by other entrepreneurs. Finally, Dr. Anas Al-Faris spoke about an awful lot of data related to the research that is going on in the kingdom, again, about the growth in publishing and the growth in patents, a focus on changing the funding, a focus from just research, but looking at the importance of tech transfers between institutions, and also focusing on what is the relatively difficult process of commercialization. The expansion of that research space, and you're going to do research, you might as well name the program the Program X, which I think is a really good name, which is going to increase the overall infrastructure and the footprint of research in Saudi Arabia. That great footprint map of what it looked like in 1996, and you've seen the growth then. There's also some other countries as well that have maybe increased theirs a little bit more, so there's certainly scope, but there's also the will and the means to increase the output of research and commercialization in Saudi Arabia. So there's an excellent program tomorrow. We hope you come back. I want to thank all the speakers and the hosts of this conference today, and all of those who stayed to the very end, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
That's all. Thank you for spending this time with us. Until we meet again tomorrow morning, have a good and pleasant time.